Hello.
Hello, happy Tuesday, guys.
Yeah.
Even if the fact that it is Tuesday caught both of us off guard.
Yeah, we did both very much. Even though both of us, again, hung out less than 24 hours ago,
Yes.
reminded each other at the time that the next day, the preceding day would be Tuesday. We both then proceeded to forget.
Hello, gelatinous friend in the chat.
Hello, gelatinous
Hello.
friends.
Blub, blub, blub.
Thank you for waiting.
Thank
to
you.
the raid.
Thank you for being so patient.
Also, for waiting in chat, but also waiting for me so that you can do raids.
Yes. Woo.
I'm very sleepy because A, I've been packing all day, and I'm in the last 48 hours of packing, which anyone who packs often knows is the most chaotic part.
Mm-hmm.
Because before then you're like, there's only so much I can pack because I will need things in my life to live. But when you get to the last 48 hours, you're like, well, conceivably I could even wear the same clothes. Everything is going away now. So I have been on the move. And let's be honest, I did not do the best job of packing before now. I only do things when I'm motivated by a time crunch.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and then I'm also on, because obviously I want to use as much food as possible and not waste any of it, I very rigorously planned my meals for this week. And I made a vegetarian shepherd's pie situation because I had potatoes and I had corn mince and I had onions and peppers and things that all needed to be used, but I made a very big one in the end because I had a lot of things that needed to be used. And now I'm shattered because A, it was a long process to cook, and B, it was so much food. And it's that kind of comfort food where you're just like, and now I sleep for 4 hours. That post Sunday dinner, I'm just gonna have a nap now.
Yeah, that's a big mood, and I really wish I could because we did the big chicken again. This whole thing of it's cheaper for us to just get a big chicken and cook it, and that's our food for the next 3 days sorted. Yeah. But of course, the endeavor of cooking that chicken and carving it up and having because the first time you have it is the proper meal, so it's potato. It basically had a Sunday roast except it was Tuesday.
Just Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, so potatoes, veg, carving up this chicken, and afterwards I'm just lying there just I'm freaking exhausted from preparing this food.
About, as someone who is religiously, if I can make it in one pan, I will. The moment I have to use all the pans I own to cook a meal, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
My nan regularly cooks meals for the family with using every available oven and hob, and I don't know how she does anything. It's there's so much going into this, and then there's so much washing up that you forget exists.
Yeah.
Until you turn 90 degrees and see your sink, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, basically.
And then if you share a kitchen like me, you can't even be like, I'll do it later. It's no, I do this now. But yeah. No, to be honest, the most tiring thing I've done all day is I packed my books today.
Ooh.
Because I finally got the last one from Kay, so I packed up all my books. And let me teach a lesson to the children. Children, hear me. When you are moving, if at any point in your life you're moving into a sort of temporary living situation where you don't have to bring everything that you own, so you can have it in storage or leave it with a parent or whatever. And if you're a person who enjoys physical books and owns quite a lot of them, and so you're like, I'm going to bring about as many books as I need and then one extra. That's it. Because obviously I'm at uni. I had a certain amount that I need.
Yeah, you did need
People have different situations. But if you're like, okay, I'm going to bring... I bought 2 extra technically, but one of them is The Great Gatsby, and that's 50 pages in a small bundle. It's not even a hardback. So just remember when you do that initial leaving packing that if you're the kind of person that enjoys physical books, the chances that you are going to obtain books
Yes.
in the time you live in another place is incredibly high.
You literally obtained one yesterday.
I obtained 2 in the last week. They're both pretty thin, but I bought a lot of books this year that were pretty thin. They add up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it has basically. I bought my books last time I used my suitcase because I've got a pretty big suitcase and it's on wheels, so it's easier. You never have to lift it really. When I came here, I came with half a suitcase of books. And Blue has seen my suitcase, so she knows how big it is.
Yes.
I have filled both halves of that suitcase. That's how many books I now own. It's not a small suitcase for chat.
Oh my
it's
god.
like a medium suitcase, medium to large suitcase.
Oh my days.
It is It would take 2 people to lift. It's gonna take both me and my dad to just tip it into the back of my car. In the back of my dad's car.
So have you instructed him to bring an additional suitcase?
No, basically what I'm going to do is when we get to the other end, I'm not going to get anyone to move the suitcase. I'm going to take all the books out of it and transport them out of the suitcase and into my bedroom. Rather than getting anyone, including my brother who's pretty buff, to lift that up a flight of stairs. Because if any... Also, my suitcase... The staircase at my nan's are curved. Which means they're very narrow. So if that thing goes, it is A, taking someone with it, and B, it shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. Also, it's carpet. None of that should happen.
No.
But yeah, it's a fun nightmare. Because I didn't think it was that bad because my book situation is I have 2 shelves and then the desk that's below the shelf, and that was all full of books. But I thought that all the ones that were on the desk were library books. That turned out not to be the case.
Of course.
Because the top ones were all library books, which is why I thought that. But the foundational layer were all mine. So it was probably... Should I do a guesstimate on how many books it was? I'm averaging it out here because I obviously have some books. We're thinking in space here. I obviously have American Gods, my romantics anthology, which is an A4 size and over 3,000 pages long.
Oh, for God's sake!
We Blue said it. It's a bludgeoning weapon.
Yeah.
It's a doorstop. My lecturer told us when we had to buy it for our class. He's like, we use it in the office to prop the door open. It's intense. So if we're thinking of space, there's certain things that have to be averaged out here. But I do have some very thin books, so that probably adds up to about the same. Oh god, how many were on that shelf? We're in the 40 to 50 range, I think.
Oh my god, amazing.
And I think I arrived with about 20, if that.
20, if that.
But bear in mind, again, I needed them for
you did need
research.
some, yes.
Because what happened was I bought a certain amount, and then I found out I needed some that I already owned, so I had them posted to me. And then obviously I obtained some that I needed for classes. And then, even if I only bought 5 for myself over the course of a year, the cumulative property.
It's a lot.
It became a lot really fast. And I don't know where they're all going to go. Because me and my dad are the same person. And anyone who remembers... I was going to say my old set. That's not a set, that's just where I live. My old room setup, you can see the bookshelf in there.
Mm-hmm.
That is full and none of it is mine. That is my dad's collection. And that's not all of it either. We're the same person, and we occupy one space.
Astounding.
So it's a whole thing. Currently, all of my books are either in the roof in storage, or I have do you know what, like a trunk You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a big old, like a treasure chest. That is behind my bed, and that is literally just books. I would really love to get a big shelving unit instead and put them all up, because I actually have no idea how many books I have and what they are, if I do. I have the ones I consult a lot, and then the ones I'm like, I know I have that somewhere and I can't wait to find it again.
Yeah, as someone who also had to keep a lot of her books in like a storage box that was not readily accessible, it was very nice to move to a place where it was like, well, you can just have them all on the shelf. And I'm like, oh, I can actually see all of the books I own now.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I just want to see them all. Because then as well, I feel like I probably have duplicates of some. Because I'm sure, as person to person who forgets things a lot,
yeah.
The moment that something leaves my eyesight, I think it's gone. So
yeah, can relate to that heavily.
Yep. So like, I'm sure I have dupes of books, and I'm sure I have some that I would love to donate to places.
Hey.
Because I don't think I've ever really got rid of books. I still have all the books from when I was young. And I'm sure some of them I could donate to places that need them. So, but I don't know what those are until I see all my books laid out. Yeah. I also actually get to see that mirror that I bought, Blue, if you remember.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
I have a very gorgeous, what would you call that, Art Nouveau?
Art Nouveau, I believe,
mirror?
is the one that it was.
Yeah, it's very pretty. I'm very glad I bought it. But I've never seen it because I got it delivered, so I didn't have to shove it in a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be, if you hear any sirens in the background of my audio, this might be the last time you hear those for a while. Enjoy the city ambiance.
Yes.
As it were.
Oh, before long we'll have the forest ambiance, which is the sound of you disconnecting all the time because of your bad internet.
Yes. Alternatively, just like forest sounds that are upsetting. Like foxes,
I felt like we never really heard them much before.
No, I think those generally happened after I logged off and tried to go to sleep.
Yeah.
They're not the kind of noises you overhear. Yeah, you get like, it's the amount of times when you live in the woods, you hear the phrase, "Oh, it was probably just a fox." I'm like, what the fuck? I know what foxes sound like. That eldritch abomination noise that came through the woods, I don't think was a fox. My like, you know, lover of folktale brain is like, that's just like an elder god or something. But we don't question it because that would be dangerous. So, no, it's just foxes. It's like the Tooth Fairy. We say it's just foxes. I like that implied that the Tooth Fairy was somehow sinister.
She is.
She steals your fucking teeth and no one talks about it. We're not talking enough about how the Tooth Fairy steals teeth. I'm just picturing now you know, like, was it Rise of the Guardians? The Tooth Fairy from that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Like a villain. I love that movie.
The hummingbird motif. It's beautiful.
Yeah! I love that movie, unironically. And then it became a Tumblr thing.
Well, that at least that phase has been and gone.
We say that. I'm sure there's some dark corner that's like, oh, I still live.
Probably, yeah.
Or we're just not admitting that foxes are eldritch beings in disguise. At least, I will admit, whatever is controlling the vocal box of a fox is definitely a dark and sinister force. They should not make that sound. Whatever that sound could be called. Well, to be fair, like, if you watch videos of, like, you know, domesticated foxes and things, they just laugh. Like, cackle laugh.
Yeah.
But that is a very different sound when it's being echoed through the woods in the middle of the night. It doesn't sound the same.
Once again, it feels like a long time since we did this.
Yeah, right.
Random Pokemon.
It hasn't been though, right?
No, we did this just the other week, but we haven't done this in a while, which is Random Pokemon Generator.
Yeah.
Steenie! Okay.
Which one did you get? Sorry, I dissociated for a half second.
Steenie!
What? Say it one more time.
Steenie! which is one of the awkward middle stage Pokemon in a trio evolutionary line. It's
yeah.
yeah.
It's the one that leads on to the one that kicks my ass.
Yeah, Serena.
Yeah, that one. Also, did you see my... Well, you did, because you commented on my... I was going to say my Pokemon Unite glam. Fuck me.
I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah. No, I stand by it. My Pokemon Unite glam. I realized, like, I was, like, just, like, idling last night, because as you know, it's my insomnia game at the moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it, I'll play a game. And then I went on the store and I realized I had like 20,000 fashion tickets.
Wow.
Because I keep getting dupes for stuff.
Yeah, but also you're playing that game a lot. I do,
yeah.
Yeah, you like I play it in batches. It's one of those games that it's like I'll ignore for like 6 months and then go through a phase of playing and then ignore again.
Yeah.
But you currently have been been using it as your chill game for like the last month now, so you're already just like steaming ahead of me in terms of what you have.
Yeah. So I was like, what can I get? And I noticed I could get the e-girl emo shit. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. That's my final form. There needs to be more red hair, I gotta say that. Hey, Corp.
Hello, Cor.
Also, I played a game as Lucario, because we were talking about it yesterday.
Yo! What's the rotation? Is he on rotation, or...?
Oh, I actually don't know, because I've got him unlocked. But... I am good at Lucario.
Yeah, you like him?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't
when
like
I
him as
first
much
tried him, I didn't like the vibe, but it was just in the practice arena.
Yeah, I don't know if I like him as much as Aegislash, but I did very much enjoy him because he's what I like about some attackers, but he's not as fragile.
Ah.
So
he's all-rounder. Again, this was
exactly.
the realization we had of, like, I like to play attackers and speedsters, but they always die too quickly, and then I started playing all-rounders like Charizard and Dragonite, and I was like, oh, these guys are fun.
Yeah, I think all my non-tank ones I'm gonna like are gonna be all-rounders. Although, Aegislash is an all-rounder, right?
I think so, yeah. This week's rotation is Absol, Blastoise, Buzzwole, and Sylveon.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. I've been seeing a lot of them. I've been seeing a lot of, what's the first one you said?
Absol.
Absol. I've been seeing Absol every single game.
To be fair, Absol's probably the one that I would try, because I own Sylveon, and screw Buzzwole.
And fuck Buzzwole. There's also been a Buzzwole every game, but, you know, 14-year-old boys exist and deserve rights, I guess. Talking about the Pokemoba? Yeah, sure am.
Pokemoba, it's Unite.
It's my go-to. I want to play games, but I don't have a lot of time at the moment because the game is 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so it's
5-minute matches was like a god tier decision when they were developing this game.
It's such a good way for me to be like, I need to chill for 2 seconds, but I don't want to sink hours into something. It's like, even if I end up playing 2 games, it's only 10 minutes. Because I don't have a lot of time. Liked Fluffy Healer Plant. That's actually one I want to try. What did I call it yesterday? Edelweiss?
Edelweiss. I was like, no, that's not, no.
I did it intentionally in my defense, but they're still very funny. I don't remember what it's actually called.
Eldegoss.
Eldegoss, that's it. And Alolan Vulpix, yeah, I like Alolan Ninetales. I like Alolan Ninetales, but since I've started maining Trevenant, I can't play it anymore because it's too fragile. Any ranged DPS, I now have the issue of my muscle memory doesn't want me to be ranged, and certainly doesn't want me to be DPS. Because they're too squish. The thing is with range that I found that I struggle with is they auto walk towards what they're attacking. So it enhances my just get in there instinct. Yeah, I had the same problem in Crystalline Conflict, if you remember. I don't know if you ever played that much with me.
I didn't, no.
It's the same issue I have. Because my issue, I think this is Overwatch did this to me, but my brain is just like, get on the point. So whether that's like defending the point, attacking the point, or in Crystalline Conflict, pushing the point, my instinct is to be like, just stand on that. So if that's where the fight is, I'm going in.
Right.
Right? Like, in no world am I gonna be like, the fight is happening on the point, I should stand off the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Because, you know, I'm used to diving in overtime and trying to hold the point. So yeah. When there's a push happening, I'm gonna be in the fray. So, as much as I love my Ninetales, obvi, I'm not very good at playing Ninetales. It also doesn't help that, as we've discussed before, me and Blue, when one of Ninetales' optional attacks is a jump in, which is a bizarre choice.
Yeah, it's a very weird
In no
choice.
world do you want to be in melee.
Excuse me, game, because I just did the typical thing of I heard a noise and I need to find out what it was.
Go investigate what Sadie's done.
Sadie. I'll keep my headset on so you can keep chatting, but I won't be here.
I'm just gonna talk bullshit. So stream team? That's really hard to say. Yes, so I found out about this. I was asleep. I was shamefully asleep when it happened. But I caught the VOD, and I think it's very sweet, and I'm very glad to be your Vulpix. I also find it really funny that the Vulpix is, like, extremely cowardly, because that's accurate. Just, like... It's like, I don't know that I can stand up for myself and do things without a friend present. Yeah, big fan. It's interesting as well because as I've said to Blue knows this, but I've played Explorers of Time. I don't think I haven't finished it, but I did play it. So I'm aware of the genre, but I haven't seen this one. And I think Eevee and a Vulpix is a great team too. But yeah, I'm very glad to be on the team. Gang, I don't know what the fuck to write. If you're gonna have your favorite Pokemon in a game, it should be named after you. Yeah, I found it very sweet. The chat immediately was like, well, if you're gonna pick the Vulpix, you have to call it Curls. And it's just nice because, like, Ninetales, as much as Ninetales I think is like a medium to popular, like, fave Pokemon choice, I don't see Ninetales a lot in things. I was so surprised when it was in Unite. So when it does appear, I'm like, oh! Yeah, a good time. Looking forward to seeing how I have a interesting character arc, I'm sure. Gang, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna write. As is typical, while I'm packing, I keep running into notebooks I forgot I owned and finding bits of poetry that I forgot I wrote. And that's been a fun time. Blue said it was your fave, so I was like, well, it has to be Ninetales. Yeah, Ninetales is my favorite, but obviously Vulpix by extension. Yeah, Ninetales has always been my favorite ever since I was a little kid. And it's only become more my favorite. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm
Sadie.
I assume it was Sadie doing something, but I couldn't see any signs of mischief, so I don't know if she was like chasing after something, which was entirely possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could hear the conversation. It's amazing the similarity of my favourite was also Arcanine for a really long time, and Arcanine's one of those ones where it seems like somewhat popular, but you don't see it a lot.
Yeah. It's in every game. Well, it's the usual irony of me and Blue is that they're like the two.
Yeah, they get paired together. They tend to be in the version exclusive.
Different version exclusive,
roster.
Yeah.
They tend to be the alternatives of one another. If you either get Vulpix or you get Growlithe.
Yep.
Which is very funny.
Can't evolve till endgame though, so meh. Yeah. Vulpix is fine. Vulpix is cute.
Yeah, they want you to play through the story as your character that you got at the start.
Yeah. I was gonna say, by the way, Blue, if this was like the situation in game where like you IRL became a Pokemon and you became a little Eevee, what do you think you would evolve into?
Me? Ooh.
Yeah. Because I think Vaporeon's too easy and also not correct.
Yeah, just because it's Blue, that's like horrendously incorrect. I mean, honestly, I do feel like Sylveon is a good shout.
Yeah, I was thinking Sylveon. Evolves through friendship?
So. It evolves through affection. It's just not the same as friendship. Because day and night friendship is Espeon and Umbreon.
Right, yeah.
But it's funny because, like, it's one of those things where, again, hey guys, time for your weekly Pokemon nerd lore drop. You could argue that friendship, quote unquote, as a value is somewhat of a mistranslation. Because some people have sort of said, how come the Team Galaxy leader Cyrus says that he hates Pokemon and stuff, but he's got a Crobat, a Pokemon that evolves through friendship, and it's like, well, that's because in Japan it's kind of closer to the word loyalty than it is to friendship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that Crobat may not necessarily, it may not necessarily like him, but it's loyal to him, which obviously is not the same thing. And then when Sylveon and X and Y was introduced, where you could actually like pet and brush and look after your Pokemon, it then added in affection, which is much more closer to actually really liking you.
Yeah,
that's the
sort
of
difference. Made a good point as well that shiny Sylveon is blue and white.
I was aware of this. Yes. I think Sylveon did get released around X and Y was still around sort of like our RP time, so I think I remember when group discussions about Pokemon came up, I was always like, well, Blue would be a shiny Sylveon, but she would own a Leafeon, which was like my differentiation, because obviously she likes to look after the plants. But yeah, she would be a shiny Sylveon, so I guess that would make me a shiny Sylveon.
Yeah. I don't know what evolution I would be, because again, it feels like, is it just Flareon?
Is Flareon too easy? I don't know.
I'm very attached to Flareon because I think people dump on it all the time. But I don't know. I think it's between like Flareon and Umbreon.
Yeah.
I almost think Flareon's too cute. I don't know. Too cutesy. Whereas me, the pinnacle of edge.
You can also be cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as well, to me, as much as of the evolutions, I love Flareon and will defend Flareon with my life. On the grander scale of Pokemon, to me, it is kind of just lesser Ninetales.
Yeah, it gets the raw end of the deal, but just it's pretty much in every aspect of like, it was the least popular evolution. It got had the poorest stat distribution. It didn't have the greatest of move pools, and there were just like loads of other really good fire types in the same generation.
Yeah.
Poor Flareon.
Hence why I will fight for it, because everyone who dunks on Flareon is wrong. It is worthy of love.
I'm not gonna lie, after I finished the stream, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, like, because the team name was designated as Star Fox, which is just another joke in and of itself, obviously.
Yeah.
I actually ended up Googling, like, what would it take to modify the game that I'm playing? Because I was like, kind of could see us being shinies, but they don't have shinies in the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, could I modify the sprites to be a shiny Vulpix and Eevee? Because that would put the star part into Star Fox, but it just became so complicated of like, obviously you've got to have the file, but it's like, well, you got to unpack it and get out all the code and then find the asset, and I was like,
yeah.
If it was just a matter of replacing the image, I could do that, but it's so much more, and I was just like, you know what, forget it. I can headcanon that they're shiny, but obviously in the game they're not.
Yeah. And also, like, shiny Ninetales is my vibe. Shiny Vulpix it's very much not.
Yellow.
Simpsons Vulpix. But shiny Ninetales, like, my trainer also has a shiny Ninetales.
Yeah.
Because fucking look at it, it's sick.
It's gorgeous. It's very funny because that's the one case where we do differ in that if mine is very much regular Arcanine.
Yeah.
Shiny's fine, and I'd never say no to shiny, but I prefer original.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just looked it up. Yeah.
Because again,
well, that's because
yellow.
You're Simpsons, yeah.
I get it. It's supposed to be gold. I get it.
Yeah. The thing is, I love normal Ninetales. Nothing against it. Like, I genuinely love it so much. But I only became aware of the shiny version very recently. For whatever reason. I think it's because in my brain, I was like, what does a shiny Ninetales look like? Oh, it must just be the more yellow kind of image, like, style of shiny, because the one I'm thinking of is definitely a lowland Ninetales.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'd misled my own brain. And then I looked it up again recently. I think me and you were talking about it.
Yeah, I was talking about a shiny Alpha Ninetales that someone got in Legends Arceus.
And I was like, wait, that's sick. And because also my trainer Sona's bad. Or at least has the aesthetic of an evil person. It just adds to that a little more. I think the, like, kind of cold, like, grey colour with the red eyes. Mwah. If I could draw the illustration I would do, the Drawfee style trainer Sona illustration I would do, it would be like me, my trainer Sona in, like, full, like, gym leader excessive glam, and then just like sat on a chair with this, like, massive Ninetales head, like, over one shoulder. Mwah, chef's kiss. Our trainers would be best friends with opposite aesthetics as we are in life.
Yes.
Just on the Pokemon version of it.
Yeah, it's literally just us but Pokemon.
I think it's funnier with the trainer Sona almost, because you would have a massive dog. You would have a massive fire puppy.
Yeah.
And I would have this massive, like, elegant fox thing. And it would just be like, I can just picture them, like, playing and it just being, like, comedy. Because they're just very different aesthetics.
Yeah. Well, remember, Archer's canonically a very grumpy boy.
Yeah. I don't think mine would be. I don't think my Ninetales would be. But then I don't think picturing Ninetales as anything other than, like, wise and aloof is actively very difficult. Ooh, I don't know what to write.
I don't know what to suggest.
Me.
Zowie.
Me.
Ah.
I'm in that awful space of, like, I have a lot of creative energy, but no idea what to use it on. I'm like, this thing? And my brain's like, no.
Oh, I get that.
Thing,
it's so annoying.
No.
It's not a good feeling.
Nope. I found so much poetry today. I found so much poetry I wrote today.
Excellent. Do you want to edit some?
I am in a poetry mood because I read... Were you there when I was talking to Kay about this? You might not have arrived yet. You know that I had that whole thing with trying to get that book?
Mm.
Oh no, wait. I've obtained 3 books this week.
Aha!
But I was trying to get there's a book I was trying to get hold of. For chat, exposition. For literally like a year, I didn't want to order it online because I didn't want it that much. But anytime I was in a bookstore in real life, I was looking for a book called If Not Winter, which is a translation of Sappho. It's like the one, basically. Why it's not just called, Sappho, I don't know. But, and I was looking for it forever, and I had a whole situation where we went out to Birmingham in the middle of a thunderstorm, and I tried to find it in Waterstones, and they didn't have it in Waterstones, but their plot twist, they had it in Foyles, but it was on the other side of town, and it was a whole situation. But basically, a couple days later, I get stuck in New Street for half an hour, go grab a coffee, and then I'm like, well, I'm going to go grab that book. And on the train, on the way back from Birmingham, I read the entire book.
Amazing.
I read everything any piece of writing that is attributed to Sappho, I have read now. So I've been in something of a poetry mood. It's so fascinating. I can't recommend it enough. It's such a, because, the introduction to this explains that, there's some fragments of Sappho's work that we still have, but a lot of the, big sections of Sappho's work are quoted by other authors that we then have that. So a lot of her work, we have big pieces that are completely out of context.
Oh, right.
And they kind of make great poetry in and of themselves, even though we have no idea what the overall poem was about. And it's really fascinating. And the way that Anne Carson, who did this translation, the way she lays it out, it makes very obvious. The reason why this translation is so, beloved is because, especially ones where it's the original Sappho manuscript, she leaves the spaces in where the pieces are illegible or missing or eroded or whatever. So you can see, that there were things in between it.
Okay.
And she also includes the original Greek as well, if people want to try and translate it themselves, which I don't. Yet in my life. I'm sure I'll get there.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll learn Greek at some point.
But, it's so fascinating to, read beautiful poetry, but then be but that wasn't even the original poem. That's just, what was left of this poem after centuries and centuries.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's only one surviving Sappho poem that they think is complete. Uno. One.
Wow.
And she wrote 9 volumes of verse, which was a huge, huge, huge amount of work.
Yeah.
For that time period.
That's still a huge amount of work.
Yeah. And the thing is, Sappho wrote in, she didn't necessarily write poetry, she wrote verse, songs.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have any of the original music that she set to it. So it's like a weird, beautiful middle ground of there was these songs and things, and then over time, with erosion, they became poetry. It's really interesting.
Yeah, a bit of a history lesson.
Yeah. I hope you guys never tune into the stream and are I hope I don't learn something about ancient Greece today.
Wrong stream if that's the case.
Statistically, it's just unlikely. Blue got to watch my terrible Phoenix Rising play this week.
It was fine. You're too mean
You got
on
to meet
yourself.
my boy.
Yeah.
My boy Hephaestus. He's so good.
Got a little bit of amnesia at the moment.
Yeah, he's struggling. We got to see what Ares looked like, and we're mildly disappointed because we've been spoiled by Hades.
Yeah, actually, yeah. It was the whole, you've completed the Ares area, and he's returned to his human self, and we both went, huh.
Not compared to Aphrodite. Aphrodite looks great. Like, I've got a screenshot of Aphrodite from when she, like, wakes up, and she looks amazing.
Yeah.
But, like, Ares, we were just like, oh.
Huh.
Kind of liked you better when you were a bird, honestly.
Yeah. You were better as a chicken.
Yeah, I think Hades has just spoiled us with, like, a god tier, pun slightly intended.
Yeah.
God tier Greek god design.
Absolutely.
Also, Blue, I looked through more Fizzbands today.
Hey!
And what a wild ride that is.
Oh, it's such a good book. I can't believe I couldn't actually believe when you were like, oh, Kate's giving me Fizzbands. I was like, wait, you've not read any of Fizzbands?
Okay, I've seen some of the pieces of Fizzbands because Das let me go through their assets for it on Roll20. So I had
the special edition book like basically on release, and my god, I was flicking through that at work. I was reading through it on my lunch break, just like give me the dragon stuff. It's so good.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen some of the items and I've seen some of the spells. Just because spells tend to, seep into everything.
Yeah.
But I hadn't seen any of the creatures, any of the new maps, all that stuff. The like blessing system, the crazy amount of tables in that book.
So many tables.
There's literally like a double page spread of a D&D book. This is so like a massive double page spread tables, plural, for every dragon type, so you can like auto generate a dragon. Yeah, they give you
character creation tables for dragons, like the equivalent of stuff that we've had in Xanathar's for players to use. They've now made the equivalent for dragons
per type, and they're dope.
So good, such a good book.
I love gemstone dragons. They're weird as fuck.
I know, they're so strange.
I love the little note that was like, I know you're going to ask which one came first. Gemstone dragons came before gemstones. It's like, okay. Yeah, it's a good time. I like, as with all D&D books recently, I like, as well, a lot of the little, like, side creatures that they make.
Yeah, so, like, I love the little treasure mimics.
Yes, treasure mimics. I really like the, what are they called? Like warden protectors? The like mechs? The little like very streamlined looking gemstone mechs? They're dope. Like a lot of like not flagship creatures in these books are so good. Like just little fodder creatures, essentially. What? Scarab, gemstone scarabs? Beautiful. I didn't know they were going to put in a bunch of lore for dragon turtles. Love that. Yep. Love dragon turtles. Would never want to fight one.
Yeah, don't.
At least not when I'm not playing a character that's ocean optimized.
Yeah, but they got baby ones as well now.
Yeah, they got wormlings. I like that they've clarified, like, no, these are actually dragons. Because I think even though they're called dragon turtles in the monster manual, regardless of what the text says, they seem different from other dragons. Whereas this is like, no, they're definitely dragons. They too have types. But, like, I also love that in the flavor text, they're like, we have no idea where these came from.
Yeah.
Like, these are kind of naturally occurring. They're, like, phenomena, essentially, rather than creatures. I also like the exposition about dragon eggs, weirdly.
Yeah.
Did you read that? Whereas, they can just be, like, spontaneous events of the universe. Like, they're not, like, created. They just sort of appear. I love that shit.
I love the war poem at the start.
Yeah,
at the very front of the book, like the tale of creation. And again, it says at camera, this is the asterisk of like, put ever what you want in your game kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
But it was very cool to have the whole like, here's the creation myth for this world of revolving around dragons, and I was like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I was surprised actually because it mentioned a couple like D&D settings, and this one goes out to Naren. I'm surprised how little they mention Eberron in that book, considering how much Eberron like creation myth revolves around dragons. and the end of the world in Eberron revolves around dragons. Like, it just surprised me. Because they talk about, obviously, Dragonlance quite a lot. But a couple of settings they talk about, and I'm like, huh, it's just weird. I also really confused me because they, at one point, talk about a thing, I think it was in Dragonlance, which is also called the Kryn. And I was like, it's like the Kryn Dynasty from Critical Role. Which is also a canon D&D setting now.
Yep. Now, obviously,
I love how messy it is.
Yeah, and obviously, the player options in it are also fantastic.
Of course. I think they've been well discussed now.
Dragonborn, like base Dragonborn, I really liked, but improved Dragonborn is really nice. The Draconic feats, and obviously the Draconic subclasses, where of course I was like, I want to play all of them.
What did we get? Like Worm Tamer Beastmaster.
Yeah, I've already made one of those and played them in a one shot actually.
The monk.
Yeah, the monk,
that looks surprisingly interesting, actually.
Yeah, Sarah, obviously from Curse of Strahd, has been re-shifted over to that, because I read through it and I was like, this is basically what I wanted her.
This is what you were kind of doing anyway.
This was the vibe I was going for. Literally, the story is she is just a reincarnated dragon. She's a kobold with the soul of a dragon, and I was just like, this is just better. So she's.
And I'm sure a million DMs have allowed Beastmaster Rangers to have dragon pets. Yeah, I'm sure. No, you've got an actual stat block for it. Yay!
Yeah, they have actual stat blocks, and they improve over time. So I remember when the gate put the Drake Warden in Unearthed Arcana, and me and Spook read through it, and we went, "Oh, this is Beastmaster, but better."
Yeah, well, that's what they did to improve Beastmaster, right?
Yeah,
they made everything scale.
Yeah, they gave it a bunch of revisions because, go figure, in a game like D&D, turns out just having a basic-ass wolf or bear for a companion for the entirety of the game then ends up being kind of trash. So
and like a summon animal sitch doesn't quite work because the idea is that you're attached to this one creature.
Yeah.
Not that you can just be like, well, I'll just get a more powerful creature now.
Yeah. They obviously, again, it's one of those things where you can interpret it however you want to your character, to your game, but the flavor text that they went with the more modern one is that you're attached to more of a spirit, and you can, and it's you're still like bound to it, but you can resummon it if it dies, because obviously for rangers that's always like their number one concern of like, well, I have a beast companion and I don't want it to immediately die, so now it's like, well, you're attuned to a nature spirit, and and if it dies you can just resummon it and it's okay.
I also like a kind of, Pokemon thing of like it never, it kind of revives itself out of its devotion to you. That kind of shit's good as well. Yeah, it was very interesting. In typical me, like I caught myself mid doing it and being like, God, if my players could be inside my brain, they would be laughing at me, because I was literally like reading some stat blocks of like, oh, I could strip that and use it for something else that I'm working on. I was like, oh God, here we go again. My players meme about me doing this, and here I am. I'm literally like, this is what's left of the engineer family in me. It's like, oh, what can I could take all these little bits, I can strip this for parts, and then use it for other things that I'm working on. Jesus, there are so many channels that I'm watching that I follow live right now. Busy, busy, busy. Because the race is on. The race is on. I actually don't know if anyone's won yet. Is anyone else, and I doubt anyone in chat is following the Savage race, huh? Let me see.
That streamer got another mount, by the way.
You know what? It's okay. I've accepted. I've accepted and moved on. I've accepted from the things that I will not change about myself.
Yeah, every day, like literally it was one day. I showed you the picture yesterday to be like, oh yeah, they posted this morning to say they got this mount, and then literally today I opened my phone and they posted another screenshot of another mount, which is obviously that one but a different colour, and they were like, another one done, and I was like, yep.
Was it black by any chance?
I think it was a purple. Yeah, it was a purpley black one. Yep.
They're saving the best till last.
Yep. So, yeah, we'll see how long it takes before they post another picture to be like...
If they've got that one, then the last one is not a competition for them. It's the other fight that they haven't done is not hard.
Yeah, they tweeted out 2 of 2 for Endwalker mounts, and it was a black one with, like, purplish particles around it.
Yeah. Oh, is there only 2, not 3? Interesting. Okay. Oh, I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Oh, 2 for 2, sorry, not 2 of 2. 2 for 2, they said.
Great.
Yeah, and then they posted another tweet, which was them going, "Behold, my stuff!" And it's a picture of their house, which has all of the trophies
and whatever, yeah.
All of the trophies. It's got three wing trophies, them wielding an axe and like an armor set, and I'm just like, that sure is stuff.
Who's winning? Sorry, I'm deviating. I'm deviating, chat. To my knowledge, no one has completed yet. Yeah, I'm just checking it. No one's cleared yet. Neverland predictably are winning. How are Last Impression doing, though? Let me look. Oh, they're not in it. Okay. Yeah, so... Yeah, on Tuesday, the Savage raids dropped. Well, literally midnight yesterday. Midnight tonight, sorry, because it's reset day. The Savage raids for the latest batch Panda dropped, and they are doing a... there's the usual race that all the raid groups do to try and clear it first. But there's a bonus thing of, like, the Mog Talk channel, which is, like, the big raid channel, is making it a charity stream. So it's been fun to kind of keep an eye on it, to be honest. By the looks of things, everyone's on 3 or 4. It's just who clears the final tier.
Right.
Who clears the final tier first. It's actually been crazy because I'm just going to talk at you now, you don't have to care about this. But last bunch of Savages, I should explain for chat, exposition, Savage is the hardest possible tier of Final Fantasy raids. Final Fantasy 14 raiding. Other than Unreal, but we don't need to talk about that. So, the last time those dropped, it took like 2 weeks for people to start clearing, because the 3rd boss is so hard, even in normal. but people are looking like they're gonna clear all 4 of these ones within 24 hours. It's either that or Dragon Song Reprise really, like, make people get better real fast. I bet Neverland will get it, though. They had Dragon Song Reprise. Am I not following the Mog Talk channel? What the fuck? I've been watching them all day, but I don't follow them. Hello? What you drawing?
I'm drawing our babies. Yeah, I'm drawing our babies. Because, as illustrated by this very shitty thumbnail, which was me trying to work out what it was, is that basically the layout is main screen DS, second screen for the DS, VC face down here, and then I have an empty spot. So yeah. So I said I wanted to draw whatever Pokemon we got, which is why I only did the short sort of like an hour's playthrough, because I was like, I just want to establish what we are.
Yeah.
And we have established that we're Team Star Fox. So I'm gonna draw our little foxes to sit in the background, basically.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be sitting here playing with the configuration of where they are. And like, do I want them looking at each other? Do I want them looking at the game? I'm trying to work it out.
Looking directly into the soul of the audience. Options are limitless. If I'm talking weird, by the way, I cut the top of my mouth today on a Pringle. So...
I couldn't say I noticed.
You know how Pringles be?
I do, yeah. Time to open the most useful reference, which is to have Pokemon Go on my phone so that I can see what the back of Vulpix's head looks like.
Back sprites, back sprites.
I know at the front it's got like a little fringe, but what does it have at the back?
Oh my god, Blue. Was it you I told about the fucking Twink Sherlock Holmes game?
Yes, it was. Oh, they've got like a little fringe at the back as well.
Oh. So, update. Thing I didn't realise. SSS streamed more of it, and you know I mentioned that John was fucking weird in that game?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got fucking news. This isn't like a reveal. This is just something that was true from the beginning, and I just didn't know. Extra plot twist. John is so weird because John isn't real in that game.
Amazing.
John Watson in this Sherlock Holmes game is an imaginary friend that Sherlock Holmes has had since childhood.
Oh my god.
Either because he actually knew John Watson as a child, and then when they grew up and split apart, he then remained his imaginary friend. But that's why he's so fucking weird in that game. That's why he just, like, appears. Because he's not real. It's so weird. But it's become more endearing to me because I've realized it's weird on purpose. Because they're currently, I didn't realize, kickstarting the sequel.
Oh.
And it's a Sherlock Holmes versus Cthulhu game. And I love that. It's bizarre. It's been a bizarre time. It's like, as Julia said on stream, it's jank, but in a fun way. The combat system, terrible. The fact that there is a combat system, awful. But hilarious. Yeah, when I saw them enter the, like, Mind Palace mechanic thing, and it was like, John is my imaginary friend, I was like, what? I fully thought he was real, just weird. But it should tell people about the style and tone of that game that I fully didn't question. Despite him doing very classic, like, imaginary friend behavior, like appearing suddenly, sitting on top of shelves for no reason, no one reacting to them. At no point was I like, maybe this guy's not real.
I mean, it's John Watson in the Sherlock Holmes game. Why would you assume he wasn't real?
He calls him Sherry. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, go look up Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. It's made by the same people who made Sunless City? Is that what that game's called?
Don't know.
I'm looking it up. It's made by a publisher called Frogwares, which is already a good start.
Frogwares what?
No, as in, like, the wares of a frog.
I know, that was the joke I was making.
I figured them equally funny. The Thinking City, sorry.
Ah.
Oh wait, they did make the original Sherlock Holmes games? Wait, what the fuck? Why are they so different then?
Because somebody got bored.
They made 2 Dracula games? Hang on a minute. They look terrible, oh my god. Great. Yeah, where's the pitch? Wait, where's the pitch for The Awakened? Here it is. They have made their Kickstarter goal, which I'm very happy about. But where is it? Give me the pitch so I can tell Blue how crazy this is.
Oh god.
Set years after the events of the last game. It's also like, I don't get the vibe that any of these are narratively consistent, which I love. So like in this one, Sherlock Holmes and Watson are roommates, so clearly Watson's not imaginable.
Imaginable?
Imaginable, yes. I've actually forgotten the right way to use that word. Blue, help.
What, imaginary?
That's it. Fuck me. I was like trying to be like, wait, but there's no other way to change imaginary. Fuck. Here it is. Oh wait, that's not the pitch. Give me a pitch, damn you.
Excuse me.
All the pitches for this game is insane.
Old lady girls are starting to forget words.
This is what happens when you pack. Yeah, here it is. They are roommates, rating... Oh my god, they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Renting a flat at 221B Baker Street. It's the events of this adventure that will turn them into the iconic crime-solving duo of best friends. And it's the only story that Watson will never reveal to the public. The world will be better off being ignorant of what really transpired. It's apparently they made like a smaller version of this, like a smaller like mystery click game, back in like 2006. That was like this, and apparently it's like it was on the top of a lot of like best Lovecraftian games. So they're like, no, we're gonna do it again, but we're gonna do it like our current game. So it's gonna be kind of open world. It's gonna have 2 different levels of puzzle mechanics, cutscenes, young Sherlock Holmes. And I can't tell you enough, the pictures on the Kickstarter look like a Dragon Age game. Like, they look insane. It's so, like, the way they're talking about it as well is, like, obviously, like, because Sherlock Holmes works on logic and deduction, the idea of doing a Lovecraft mystery, something that, by definition, defies all logic and reasoning, is mwah, chef's kiss. Coming out in 2024. Let me look. Oh, sorry if you can hear my phone. By their own acknowledgement, even if they are funded, they are a Ukrainian studio based out of Ukraine, and are very realistic about what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Bless them. I'm glad they got the money to do it. Let me look. I know time is fake, but it's not out yet. Chapter 1 only just came out, so... And they're still the Kickstarter's not done yet, so... Yeah, it's got 3 days left on the Kickstarter. Considering I'm talking so much about it, I should probably link it, shouldn't I? Enjoy, chat. Go take a look at that.
Wow.
Yep. Just scroll down and look at some of the concepts.
Yeah, I am.
But like, you've seen the picture of what Sherlock Holmes looks like in Chapter 1. What the heck is this? This is normal. Yeah. The world will take a semi-open world set across several different locales. Victorian London, a Swiss psych ward, New Orleans, a Louisiana bayou, and Scotland. What the fuck happens in this game? Oh, they made The Sinking City. Yeah, I did mention that before you got here. They sure did. They're a profoundly weird studio, and as much as their games run kind of jank, I kind of have to respect it, because I'm also a weird kind of jank. That was a weird old game. Yeah. Every game they've ever made is really weird. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 is profoundly weird. That's the reason we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I grabbed Blue by the shoulders and was like, this game's so fucking weird, I don't know what to do. Why is Sherlock Holmes wearing a harness? All Lovecraftian horrors can be bested with a shotgun. To be fair, literature of this time is not inaccurate. Gestures at Dracula.
Oh god, do you remember the book? On Audible, when we were sprouting through Audible?
Yes, this is why I wanted to bring it up to you, actually.
Oh my god, there's a freaking book on Audible, which is fucking Sherlock Holmes buddy cops up with Dracula.
Look, I was downloading things on Blue's Audible without her consent, and we stumbled into this.
We've just found it, and we were like, what the hell is this? What the actual heck?
It's called Sherlock Holmes and Count Dracula, or The Adventures of the Sanguinary Count, and it's a Sherlock Holmes pastiche novel by Lauren D. Esselman. Wait, this book's from 1978? I have more questions. British Fantasy Society called the book one of the better Dracula/Holmes crossovers.
What?
What do you mean? In comparison to what?
What do you mean?
How many Sherlock and Dracula crossovers are there? This is the whole stream. That's not what I was looking for, but the fact that's the top article that comes up when you Google that, it's really funny. When you Google how many Sherlock Holmes and Dracula crossovers are there, the first thing that comes up, numero uno, is an article from 2020 called "Will There Be a Dracula/Sherlock crossover on Netflix?" Every day, the world continues to string together words in a way that what's the thing from fucking Neon White? Oh, so you're just saying words to me now?
Every day we stray further from God's light.
Yeah. I mean, Sherlock is about uncovering secrets and mysteries, and Dracula says to a man is nothing but a miserable pile of secrets, so it makes sense to me. You get it.
Brilliant.
And when will it be
animated?
When is Sherlock gonna appear in
Castlevania?
What? Okay, so there's a lot of things I'm about to say that I need you to skim over to get to the point. I need you to not question a couple things here to get with me. So I'm on the crossover wiki, which is a wiki that does exactly that. It notes how many crossovers exist canonically, like in the world, right? And when you search the word Dracula, there are 35 results.
Yes, Cora, this is the correct song to play for this.
Yep. Is it the Me Channel theme? Thank God. Wait, what is... Oh no. So Sherlock Holmes vs. Dracula is the first one? Yes. 1979. There's also... none of these are written by the same author. Scarlet and Gaslight, which came out which was a 4-edition thing. I think it might be a comic by those things. Between 1987 and 1988. Mina the Dracula Story Continues, 1994. Quincy Morris Vampire, 2001.
Oh my god!
Which, again, these are all Sherlock Holmes crossovers. Blood to Blood, The Dracula Story Continues. Dracula the Suicide Club. The Red Planet League, which has a bunch of them. All Predators, Great and Small. Dracula in London. The amount of Cthulhu ones is actually kind of amazing. There is a lot. The Trial of Sherlock Holmes. The Adventures of the Benefict Vampire. Clash of the Vampires. The Irregulars in the Service of Sherlock Holmes. That one also has Conan the Barbarian in it, apparently. From the Tree of Time. I wish you could see the series of words I'm putting into my eyeballs right now. Seance for a Vampire. That one also has Rasputin in it.
Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen.
The Singular Case of the Anemic Heir. Which actually sounds like a Sherlock Holmes novel, the first one so far.
So many drugs.
Yep. What? Sorry, I'm going through some things.
It sounds like it.
I thought that said the Chronicles of Zelda then. Jesus, okay. There's a Frankenstein one here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm losing it. Okay, wait, I'm scrolling through this manually. That's a bad idea. This is a very big page. Okay. What was the last one I read? Clash of the Vampires. The Holmes Dracula File. That makes the most sense. Ghosts of Dracula. The Mystery Scarecrow's Corpse. The Incredible Umbrella. This one's in French, so I'm not going to try and say it. The Problem of the Final Adventure, which is a collection that contains, I think, every crossover of all time, including the Phantom of the Opera.
What? What?
A case for Langdale Pike. That one also has a crossover with Peter Pan, apparently. And then we're back at the top. We need to hit the store for some flex tape for Girls' mind as it's broken in the moment. I've had a long day.
It sounds like you're having a longer evening.
You don't want to screw with your head, read the manga Moriarty. I'm aware of it. Oh my god. If anyone wants a trip, just go on the Sherlock Holmes crossover wiki and look at just, not even like the specifics, just the list of source material. Like, I'm just gonna do that thing where you hit middle mouse and then scroll down really fast and then stop clicking. I'm gonna tell you the first one I see. Ready? The first one I see, Hercule Poirot, makes sense. Doctor Who.
Uh-huh.
The War of the Worlds. A Christmas Carol. Phantom of the Opera. Some of these are like real people as well, which makes sense. That makes sense. There's an alarming amount of Harry Houdini. Everyone take a breath.
I'm so concerned.
We've just been through a lot.
I'm so concerned.
I'm so concerned.
I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. I'm so concern
It turns out people have been weird forever.
They sure have.
Not to continue this derailment, but it turns out Seance for a Vampire alternates POV between Dracula and John Watson, and I find that hilarious.
Oh.
What if I made this my new academic intro?
Why?
I give up on my academic specialty currently and just make it this.
Okay, well now you've got to do it the other way. Now you've got to see what all the Dracula crossovers are.
Come here. Not that one. There it is. I'm not sure, it's not clear whether this is including the character Dracula or the novel. I think this is specifically looking at the novel. And the first one I see is the Frankenstein-Dracula War. Dracula versus Zorro.
Zorro!
A story of Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. What is Quincy Morris Vampire? I'm sorry. If people don't know who Quincy Morris is, he's the one we were joking about earlier. He's the one in Dracula who's just a Texas with yes. He's just a man from Texas with a shotgun. That's his entire character.
Yeah, his character is that he
I'm
owns
back.
a gun.
What did I miss?
Oh. No.
Just go. Run away.
Leave all you can. Please. Just go.
Be free.
Save
Friend,
yourself.
Live a good life.
Be safe in your ignorance, please.
Oh my god. A good time then. Yeah, we're having a good time. So Quincy Morris Vampire it's a novel about exactly that. Quincy Morris becoming a vampire and having to fight Van Helsing. It's exactly what you think. Okay, wait. What other more insane ones can I find? An alarming amount of these are just Sherlock Holmes.
Why did so many people think?
Why specifically these? I guess they're both Victorian Gothic.
I guess.
But there's not that many for Frankenstein. Van Helsing, the London assignment, is a crossover between Dracula and Jekyll and Hyde. That makes sense. Another Victorian Gothic. This one is from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which also, in a weird way, makes sense.
Yeah, because that in and of itself was a crossover.
See, Buffy the Vampire Slayer also makes sense. This one's a crossover with Indiana Jones. That makes less sense.
We're losing it again.
We're losing it. This is an edition of The Invisible Man, which I think is a comic. Yeah, Scary Monsters magazine. Dracula versus the Invisible Man. We're following, right? It makes sense. But the crossover material: Dracula, the Invisible Man, and an American werewolf in London. There's an edition of Iron Man that has Dracula in it for some reason. As there is a Doctor Strange.
I'm realizing as I'm looking over at my Streamlabs that not only have I been flicking between expressions on my model, I have actually sunk lower on the screen. Because I guess I must have gradually been sinking lower and lower in my chair out of desperation.
Look, let me tell you something, chat. As someone who studies literature, and has for many years, everywhere you look, people are this weird. Not just in, like, the fringes of fanfiction communities, but, like, mainstream literary people are this weird. And it's my favorite fucking thing in the world. Anyway, there's a 2005 film, which is The Batman vs. Dracula.
What? That was a film?
That's a movie. It's an American direct-to-video animated superhero horror film based on the Batman television series.
I give up.
Blue. Movie night.
No! No!
Please.
No.
In the film, the Batman races to save Gotham City from its most challenging foe yet, the legendary vampire Count Dracula himself, who hatches a plot together to enslave the city and create a race of vampires along with his two new henchmen, the Penguin and the Joker. Also, Carmilla's in this somewhere.
Of course.
Baby girl, get out of here.
She's freaking gonna be with Harley Quinn.
Oh my god. Sounds like a fantastic film. If anyone watches that, get back to me. I like it. What is this? There's a lot of crossovers with Carmilla, which makes sense. The two vampire books from the same era. Carmilla came first. Team Carmilla. Picture Dorian Gray.
Get out of here.
What is this? What is this? Hang on a minute. Everyone stop talking. Everyone shut up. Is a 2014 audio drama crossover between Dracula and the Picture of Dorian Gray. What in the fresh hell? I can't even find it. Okay. We won't worry about that. What else we got? Some of these kind of make sense because they're massive blocks of like reference material that are all like from like comic series and things where like they go between dimensions. That just makes sense. Like American Gods is on here, for example. Every piece of information we learn. So, going to check this out because Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, voices Penguin in the Batman vs. Dracula movie.
Every day I wake up and I'm forced to attain knowledge against my will.
Oh my god.
Is this... So it's animated?
Yeah,
Please tell me it's animated. I don't think I can...
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like if it was live action, I would die on the
style
spot.
of early 2000s Batman, so it's very cartoony.
Right, okay.
It looks aesthetically like the Scooby-Doo movie set in Mexico.
Oh, fuck.
You knew what I meant, though.
Oh, fuck. I hate this so much.
This is some, like, 4 a.m. energy from me.
Mm-hmm.
Blue doesn't normally have to put up with this. Okay. We're at the end of the wiki. Someone in the comments of this has pointed out that a great amount of these, and also some ones that weren't included that they've then listed, are just from DC. DC Comics, where Dracula's just a thing that kind of exists in the universe, which is why there are so many superheroes on this list. That doesn't explain the Marvel ones, though.
Yes, Marvel had the same idea.
Mm. I backed out of the crossovers wiki, and the thing below it, 10th of September 2021, article, first images of Dracula X Transformers crossover. Oh my god. It's just a figure. It's a special edition figure. It's not a series. I got excited. It's really funny though. Send you the image. Look at this guy. It's funny.
He transforms into a bat! He transforms into a mecha bat!
Dracula is in Marvel due to Blade and Moon Knight. That makes sense.
Right.
Transformers figure is so good. Everyone in chat, look up Draculus, which is the Transformer, the Dracula Transformer. Oh my god. This is a weird one. This is what happens when me and Blue hang out every day for like 2 weeks. Oh my god, what the fuck? Yeah, look it up.
I'm in pain.
I am too, actually.
I'm in physical pain.
To be honest, I really set the tone by using that Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
I love that it has the cape because you wouldn't be able to tell otherwise. I'm assuming last message in chat is for you, Blue.
I might be raiding a lot in the next 2 weeks. Oh, why? What's in the raid cycle? All 4 Deoxys forms with possible shinies. Shiny Deoxys. I still don't have a shiny Mewtwo. So I probably won't get a shiny Deoxys.
Oh no! I want to have my shiny Mewtwo.
I have been not only have I been trying to get one in Pokemon Go, but I've been shiny resetting for one in Pokemon Let's Go for about 3 years. I have the shiny charm, the game just won't give it to me.
The only shiny Pokemon I've ever encountered was a Pelipper. And I fucking hate Pelipper. That wasn't on your device. I'm roasting you out of affection. I know that shiny hunting in Pokemon Go means a lot to you.
I got like 4 Floatsels in Ultra Sun while I was trying to find a Latios. I got 4 Floatsels while I was trying to find a Latios in Ultra Sun. I have Floatsels that I can trade to people if they would need shinies. I also have a shiny Macarga.
Blue can like tell you the catch rates for like spawn rates for all the shinies in Pokemon Ultra Sun. Because like at the end of it, it was like you had like a 60%, a 20%, and a 10%.
Sun and Moon Legendaries coming as well. Yeah, that's the thing that they've been building up to the last few events. Like, how the Ultra Beasts keep appearing, and then there's lots of Lunatone and Solrock spawning. How weird! And everyone's like, yeah, we know what this is building to, guys.
How could this have occurred? Oh, I found my 3DS today, by the way.
Woo!
So you've got some presents coming your way.
Yay!
I'm actually gonna check. I do have that. Whatchamacallit? Cosmog that I said I had.
Our living dex is very close to being complete. There's like a small handful to get.
I'm trying to help out Blue's living decks wherever I can, because if anyone's like me, you capture your Pokemon and the challenge is in catching them, and then you do nothing with them ever. So Blue's like, I need a, I don't know, like a Lunala. It's like, well, I have a Lunala that's just sitting on my Pokemon Moon. I'm never gonna play it again.
Yeah, because I freaking always pick the versions of games that have the same legendaries. It was like, hey, God, I needed a Yveltal for the longest time because I had Pokemon X, so I didn't get Yveltal in that, and then I had Omega Ruby, and you can't get Yveltal in that. And then I picked Pokemon Sun, and you can't get Yveltal in that. You get Xerneas in all of those. I was like, for God's sake, I need this goddamn bird. But I got lucky, and it was in Sword, so I have one now. But for ages, I didn't have one. But yeah, I need.
Yeah, I've always bought just the opposite one from my sister. Oh yeah. I have a Lunala and a Cosmog.
One of my coworkers got Hisuian Growlithe from an egg yesterday. Yeah, they tend to put the version exclusives in those 7k eggs tend to be not version exclusive, region variants. In 7k eggs because you get them from friends, so they're from different regions.
Oh. Huh. I also have a shiny Tapu Koko if you want it.
I do, if you're giving it away.
This is also where I have my shiny Pelipper that insults me every day of my life. Yeah, I have
You should keep that and send it to a Pokemon home.
Oh.
It's that or you give it to me, because in about 6 months it'll be trapped on the DS forever.
That's true.
Unless you want it to stay in purgatory.
That's quite funny, actually. Yeah, anything I've got on here you can have.
But yeah, with the Latios I completed Gen 3, Gen 4 was done, Gen 5 I believe was also done. So I've done everything up to Sun and Moon, where I have a Cosmog, I need Cosmoem, but I need another Cosmog to do that, which you're offering yours, which I'm very grateful for. I need the Lunala, because obviously I had a Sun and Ultra Sun, so I still hadn't had a Lunala.
Yeah, I got Moon and then Ultra Sun.
Yeah, you're offering to give me Lunala, so that sorts that out. And then at that point, it's only Sword and Shield things. So I need
I can't help you.
Yeah, there you can't help me. I need I need another horse. I need Glastria. No, Spectria, because I chose Glastria. I need Spectria. I need a Kubfu, because obviously I've evolved my Kubfu into Urshifu, and you can get one. And I need the other Regidrago, I think I chose Regieleki. And again, it's like, well, they're legendaries from the most recent game, so I'm hoping that I can maybe get, if not them, then their equivalents in Scarlet and Violet, and then trade for them.
Hey Blue.
Hi.
I have a Pokemon in here, in my Legendaries box, that I've never seen before in my life.
What's it called?
Magernia?
Magearna, yes.
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
Magearna is a mythical, so it is event only. You can't catch it. And yeah, it probably was a Sun and Moon event only thing. I do have one.
Oh, okay.
But you can only get them in events. So again, it's one of those ones where it's like, it might be worth transferring over to the Switch.
From the fact that I have that, and also this shiny Tapu Koko, which is also from an event by looks of things, I'm assuming this is the... Oh, yeah, no, I did the Pokemon Moon launch at Game. This is from when I was working at Game, so I can just take the codes from behind. For reference to people not the UK, you are meant to. You just go up to the Game employee and ask for the code, and they give it to you. I wasn't stealing from my workplace.
Yeah,
so
they
I was
were
just
free.
taking them. Yeah.
Funnily enough, the reward for completing a living dex in Pokemon Home is you get a Magearna, but you get a Magearna it's not shiny, but it's referred to as original coloration. So you see how the Magearna is like all silver and grey.
Yeah.
It's basically like
because it's artificial Pokemon, isn't it?
It's an ancient like clockwork Pokemon, and it's like rusted all its color away. So when you complete the living dex in Pokemon Home, you have one of every Pokemon. You get the version of Magearna that has its original paint, and it's all gold. It's gold and looks like a Pokeball. Its little dress looks like a Pokeball. That's your reward for getting it, and it is the only way to get that to date.
And probably ever will be.
Yes,
because that just makes sense.
Yeah, that will likely forever be the completion reward.
Yeah, I can see I didn't finish my Tapu hunt either because I've got Bulu, Finny, Lele, and that's it. And then Zygarde.
Nice. What ability does the Zygarde have?
Aura Break.
Fair enough, I've got one of those.
It's the doggo one.
Yeah, the dog. I got a dog one.
And then I've got my Type Null.
Hey! Love me a Type Null.
Yeah. Fucking, for reference, my legendaries box is very organized. So I have my 2 Tapus, my Tapu Kokos in the middle. I also have Tapu Koko, obviously. And then I've got my like Cosmog, Lunala, Type Null on the left side with my Magearna, and then all the other Tapus in like a list on the right side, and then the bottom left corner, just on its own, is this shiny Pelipper, kept in shame in the corner of the box in an Ultra Ball.
Naughty shinies are sent to
a
the corner.
A level 4. Why can't I talk today? A level 43 shiny Pelipper that lives to taunt me.
Amazing.
Oh, I have the Ninetales that you gave me on this one.
Oh yeah. Version exclusive again.
Yeah. It's got Imprison, Ice Beam, Grudge, and Dazzling Gleam. That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Type Null as Evil Scientist Eevee. That's really funny.
It's not far off what it actually is, though, really.
Yeah, my team on this one was Incineroar, Wishy-Washy, Mudsdale, Magnezone, Ninetales, Gengar. Which is a pretty classic me team, honestly. I feel like that Gengar used to be my Lunala, to be honest. Oh, yes, because I'm outside the battle arena, so I probably took Lunala out of my team because you're not allowed to have it.
Yes.
Okay, put the DS away. I broke stream rules, I'm sorry, everybody.
We can sort it tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah. We can sort it whenever, it's up to you. I have to look, because obviously my Alpha Sapphire and everything I've got on my DS as well, where I did my big, huge legendary hunt, so if you've got anything you need. I think that's the only stuff you need, right?
Yeah.
We just went over this, I know.
Yeah, Lunara and Cosmo are the only ones I need, and then it's anything from Sword and Shield. Just the Sword and Shield stuff, which finding people to just give me is going to be hard to do, so I will wait and hope that Scarlet and Violet will give me trades.
Yeah, you were trying to distract yourself from writing. Truth. Look, writing's hard. Especially when you have a lot of energy but no ideas. I remembered after you said that core that there was a thing I'm actually meant to be working on. I've just managed to dig it out, and I'm like, I guess I can put some words into this. I also put my Pox playlist on because I've been in... I don't know. I've been in the brainworms about Pox recently. I love her. Pat, pat.
Bite you, bite you, bite you, bite you.
And no! She would. My little terrible, terrible little baby. He's in that Twitter thing that's like... Twitter user, that is my baby boy. Ma'am, that is a war criminal.
Yeah.
That's me with Pox.
Yep.
That's me with Pox every day. It's like, she's terrible. She's a murderer. She's awful. I'm like, yeah, and? I love her. Murder is a bit harsh. She's a bounty hunter. That's the word I was looking for. Whether or not she's a murderer is somewhat up for debate. Very, very public debate.
Yeah. That's one of those things that comes with being a blood hunter, especially when you have an angsty backstory. I mean, look at Tala.
Yeah. Yep.
If someone ran up to Tala and said, "You murderer," she'd probably like, "You're gonna need to be more specific."
And next point. Yeah. As we've said, Pox and Tala would make great co-workers. They would not like each other.
Oh yeah.
They if you took Pox into the Amadeus universe, I could see her becoming Redfur or like affiliate.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's gonna be in that like gray space of people who, I mean, that's where she is in main canon as well. Like she's in that sort of gray space of people who are slightly nefarious. I guess is not the word I'm looking for. Like,
people who are willing to do things to get the job done.
They're not like full underworld, but they're definitely not working above the line.
Yeah. That's the whole. That's like the. That's how you summarize the Blood Hunter as a class.
Yeah, exactly.
The Blood Hunter as a class is you want to kill stuff, but your techniques are frowned upon.
Yes. Do good things, bad ways.
Yes.
Whether or not you're a bad person is kind of irrelevant. Some blood hunters, bad people, sure. Some blood hunters, good people. They all work together. Love them. They're great. I'd love to make a blood hunter subclass, but I don't know what I would do. I just think it's a fun idea to play with. I'm surprised there aren't more. Well, I imagine there are if I go digging into homebrew content.
Yeah. Amello has crossplay now. Yes, I believe that was a thing.
Yeah, it's the final update it's getting, I believe.
Be great if they could still fix that crashing issue.
Yeah, for real.
That still exists after like 3 years. We are in the silent times.
Yeah. I think I'm actually going to BRB real fast. I know we're about to end, but
Yeah,
I will BRB real quick.
Yeah, go for it. So I take a look at Chimera Landers Did You Know Gaming and is doing a video on it. Apparently it's like an open world monster hunter, and then I looked at the Steam comments and decided to nope out.
I pray return.
Hello.
I forgot how much of a labyrinth it is. That's not the word I'm looking for. Obstacle course is the word I'm looking for. Why can't I talk today? Getting from one side of my room to the other.
Oh no.
Because you know, you've been in this room. Like, there's a really tiny corridor bit where my bed ends, and then the walls there, and you have to kind of nudge past it to get to the other side of the room. And that's currently full of stuff.
I think even when it wasn't full of stuff, when I stayed in a place like that, I mostly yeeted myself over the bed.
Yeah.
It's like I could walk, but I'm just gonna do this.
Big Earth core. Oh, I can't believe I didn't tell you, by the way, Blue. Something I'm gonna play in future, I think. My
Oh.
brother gifted me a copy of Disco Elysium.
Oh, you did tell me this. I think I
Oh,
was.
did I?
I think I was there when you received it.
Oh yeah, I was at your house on my brother's birthday. like a good sister, I was at my friend's house. Um, yeah. Give me a copy of the Final Cut because he's been wanting me to play Disco Elysium for forever. It's one of his hyperfixation games. So yeah, I'm really excited. I actually did want to play it just as it was on my wish list normally. So I am excited to get my teeth into that at some point alongside the 50 other games I'm playing right now.
I mean, big mood. All got 50 games that we need to play.
Yep. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go do my Final Fantasy weeklies.
Yep.
Because Blue, I'm assuming you haven't seen the new armor.
No.
Do you want to?
Sure, I don't care about spoilers that much.
And live reaction to Blue seeing the Abyssos gear. Oh no, terrible time to BRB. So all the effects that you see on these follow you.
Let's have a look-see. Whoa, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
So you see those big flaming portals behind the tank and that's the maiming gear right there. That's the Dragoon gear is the purple one.
Fuck.
They like follow you around.
What the
There's
shit?
just an open portal behind you. The one with the purple fire coming off the shoulders, that's the healer gear.
Oh wow.
It's insane. But I want that maiming chest piece for my Reaper so bad.
Yeah. You can see a lot of Reapers wearing that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the fucking Dragoon Lance. Look at that shit.
I mean, yeah, the Dragoon Lance looks crazy.
If anyone's curious what we're looking at, look at the Abyssos gear from Final Fantasy XIV.
Wow.
It's the first image. Yeah, it's something. Everyone wants it. It's literally that thing of like, well, it's new gear, so it drops once a week, and you need 7 pieces to make the chest piece. So I guess we're playing it every week on Tuesday. Yeah, you can get 1 piece per raid. There's 4 raids. And I want... Well, I kind of need the... I don't really need the healer set, but if I want to do current content, I can get the new healer stuff. Or I can just burn it for glamour and use the fending one. The fending or the maiming one. But they all look dope. Like, that's only some of it.
Yeah.
But it all looks that crazy.
Yeah, that's bonkers, but that's endgame MMO armor for you, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's, to be honest, compared to, like, the last... I mean, compared to any other current endgame armor for Endwalker, it's ridiculous. Like, it's so much. But it makes sense with A, what's happening in main story, but B, what's happening in this raid chain right now. It makes sense that they're this nuts. Like, you can't watch it, obviously, but you saw the preview image for Jesse's video.
Yeah. This is
Blue,
this
it
is
is 11:05.
Ah, fair enough. I was about to launch into a very short story, but I can always leave it. Mind you, it's very short. It's just an anecdote of what I was doing last night.
Yeah, go on.
Which was when I got back. I was still very full from food and didn't want to go to sleep, so my go-to for that, and for me now, seems to be to hop in VR chat, because we just talk, so it doesn't actually upset my stomach or anything, so it was something to let my food go down. And while we were talking, I decided I want to be small, so I swapped into my small avatar, which is, I take way too much enjoyment out of being little.
Something you would never know in real life.
Yes,
like some of us.
But yeah, but the problem was that because I was enjoying being little, because I was enjoying the perspective, but obviously being little, like, people, you know, who are sort of being regular height are just sort of looking at each other and chatting, so you're not at eye level, so you're not necessarily always in the conversation. So to rectify this, I decided to climb up somebody and sit on their head for the entirety of the conversation.
This feels correct.
And they just kind of accepted that. They just sort of sat down and stayed perfectly still while I just sort of sat there, and occasionally would sort of look down and, like, literally, like, bop their head and mess with, like, the hair physics and stuff, and just literally sit there and just sort of be like, pat, 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 while talking.
This reads for every small character you've ever made.
While talking in the conversation, just talking about stuff, like talking about the restaurants that were around Birmingham, and, you know, people being like, oh, the milkshakes and Shakeaway so good, and me being like, oh, I wish we had a Shakeaway, but we don't have one anymore, while also just being sat on this guy's head.
That's fucking excellent.
It was really fun, though. I had such a nice time. And he even occasionally just sort of, like, tilted back slightly, just like, you're right up there, and I'm like, I sure am. I'm
Look what they need to mimic a fraction of my power.
I was like sitting in IRL. I was sat cross-legged on my chair and grabbed, like, a cushion. So I was just sort of, like, squidging this cushion. In VR, it would look like I was, like, messing around with their head, and I was like, I'm really happy right now. I'm taking so much enjoyment from such a small thing.
This is the difference between me and Blue, is that I came back from a lovely dinner that we had at our friend Stangy's house. And I came back and I was so socially exhausted that I was like, if anyone looks at me, I will perish. I'm going to lie in this bed, cover myself with a weighted blanket, and play Pokemon Unite.
Hey.
And I will not move from this space until midday the next day.
Nope, I'm gonna sit in VR chat and just vibe for like 2 hours and yeah, achieve that goal, because we didn't really do anything. Because sometimes people like want to play games and like run around and do stuff, but most of the time people do just want to chill. And I was very much like I don't want to do stuff. I want to chill. My belly is full of food, and I want to let that food go down.
Yeah, so, I ended up playing Unite only because I had a milkshake, so I was buzzing a little. But yeah, it's 11:10, Blue. And I think you've done 2 very good drawings so far.
Cute. I probably won't stream it, but I might slap some colour on these guys and see how they look just to fill the empty space, because there is a good chance that obviously on Pokemon Sundays that I will need them, because Pokemon Sundays, if I don't have any TCG to open, we'll be playing Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
With Team Star Fox.
And I will try and be awake this time. Haha.
You don't need to be.
I should be a little bit. Not for like attendance reasons, but for just like life reasons.
Yeah.
You tend to stream in the afternoon.
On Sundays I do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna be sensible in the stream. I'm probably gonna make myself a little cup of tea and go to bed, because I am actually kind of tired.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on this particularly unhinged stream.
Oh.
We don't mean to be like this, we just are.
I feel like this needs to be like a YouTube highlight, like a 10-minute highlight of Kills goes through.
You can make it a Twitch highlight.
Yeah, Curls goes through Sherlock crossovers for 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think it was like an hour, but
I don't know. I've already tried to burn it from my brain, Curls.
if you make it a highlight on your Twitch channel, it will never leave.
Nope, I'm not doing that. Hell no. Twitch can shout at me that highlights are good for engagement all they want. I'm not doing it.
Vladimir Holmes, caught saying it how it is. Another name for me for October.
The mysterious case of Vladimir Holmes.
Count Homosexual is still the winner.
Yeah. It's lasted almost an entire year, and it's definitely
as the Twitch channel.
And it's definitely not going to be taken away for October. That's just true. Right, we're gonna go to bed. Good night, squad. There is no D&D this week, so honestly, I don't know when the next stream is gonna be. It's the usual. Hey, you'll have to follow me on Twitter to find out and all that jazz. I will. Obviously, we are doing. Obviously, I want to try to do Pokemon Sundays regularly, which is what the
I'm doing a sneaker streaming at some point.
But I'm sure I'm going to stream at some point.
You don't have me to hang out with in the evenings. You have no excuse. You have no other friends.
Apparently I don't. D&D is put on hold and I have nothing to do with my life.
Idle animation. That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
Right, we're going.
Yeah, we're going. Okay, bye-bye. I love you all so much. Thank you for coming here. Bye-bye.
Bye.